Today, I'm going to show you the most insane AI news that just dropped, and it's changing everything. We're talking about Chinese AI models that are crushing GPT-4, and they're completely free. GPT-5 leaks that show it's coming way sooner than you think with mind-blowing new features. And Claude just released something called MCP, that's basically the USB port for AI. This is going to make every other AI tool look outdated. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of SEO agency Goldie Agency. Whilst he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below. So here's what just happened. China just dropped not one, not two, but three AI bombshells that are making Silicon Valley panic. At the same time, OpenAI is secretly testing GPT-5, and we've got the leaked details. Plus, Anthropic just open-sourced something that could change how every AI tool works forever. Let me start with the Chinese AI models because this is absolutely crazy. First up is an AI agent called Quen3-235B-A22B-Thinking-2507. And this thing is absolutely destroying everything in its path. We're talking about beating GPT-4, Claude Opus 4, and Google Gemini on almost every single test. But here's the kicker. It's completely free, open source. You can download it right now and run it on your own computer. While everyone else is paying hundreds of dollars per month for ChatGPT and Claude, you could be running something even better for free. Now I know what you're thinking. Julian, this sounds too good to be true. There's got to be a catch. And you're right to be skeptical. But here's what makes this different. This AI doesn't just spit out answers like other models, it actually thinks. I'm talking about real thinking. It shows you its thought process step by step, just like a human would work through a problem. Let me show you what I mean. When you ask this AI a hard math problem, it doesn't just give you the answer. It shows you how it's thinking through each step. It's like having a genius mathematician walk you through their process in real time, and the results speak for themselves. On the AIME 25 benchmark, which tests mathematical reasoning, this thing scored 92.3. That's higher than OpenAI's latest model. Higher than Google's Gemini. We're talking about the hardest math problems you can imagine. But wait, it gets better. On coding tests, this AI is crushing everything. It scored 74.1 on Live Code Bench. That's ahead of Gemini, ahead of OpenAI's models. If you're running a software company or need code written, this thing could save you thousands in developer costs. Now here's where it gets really interesting. This AI has something called a mixture of experts architecture. Think of it like having 235 billion brain cells, but only 22 billion are working at any given time. It's like having a team of specialists, and depending on your question, the right experts jump in to help. This makes it incredibly efficient. While other AI models are using all their power all the time, this one only uses what it needs. That means faster responses and lower costs for you. And speaking of costs, let me tell you something that's gonna blow your mind. Remember how I said this is free? I'm not talking about a free trial. I'm not talking about limited usage. This entire AI system is released under something called Apache 2.0 license. That means you can download it, modify it, use it in your business, even sell products built with it. No restrictions, no monthly fees, no usage limits. Compare that to ChatGPT, where you're paying $20 per month for basic access. So, what's this new AI called? It's Kimi K2. And it just dropped last week from a Chinese company called Moonshot AI. Now, before you click away thinking this is just another AI hype video, let me tell you why this is different. This thing has 1 trillion parameters. That's bigger than GPT-4. But here's the crazy part. It only uses 32 billion at a time. It's like having a massive toolbox, but only picking the exact tools you need for each job. Smart, right? But parameters don't mean much if it can't actually do the work. So let me show you what makes this thing insane. First, it scored 65.8% on something called SWE Bench. That's a test where AI has to fix real bugs from real GitHub projects. GPT 4.1 only got 54.6%, so Kimi K2 is literally better at coding than OpenAI's best model, and it's free. But wait, there's more. On coding challenges, it beats almost everything else out there. We're talking about problems that would take a human programmer hours to solve. Kimi K2 does it in seconds. Now you might be thinking, okay, Julian's avatar. This sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? Well, there really isn't one. This thing is completely open source. That means you can download it, run it on your own computer, and do whatever you want with it. But here's where it gets really crazy. You don't even need to download it. You can use it for free right now through their website. And if you want to use their API, it costs 100 times less than Claude Opus. I'm not kidding, 100 times less. Let me put this in perspective. If you're using Claude Opus and spending $100 a month, you could get the same results with Kimi K2 for $1. That's insane savings. But here's where it gets even better. I also tested this on Llama Coder, and guess what? Kimi K2 is available there too, and it's much faster than using it anywhere else. The response times were insane. What took 30 seconds on other platforms took maybe 5 seconds on Llama Coder. The coding was just as good, but the speed difference was like night and day. But Julian's avatar, how good is it really? Let me show you with some real tests. I gave it this prompt: create a personal portfolio website with a sleek design, include sections for about me, projects, blog, and contact, make it responsive across different devices. And this thing didn't just give me code, it built the entire website, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Everything was clean, modern, and actually worked. The design had a dark theme with smooth animations, working contact forms, and even a mobile hamburger menu. No bugs, no weird styling issues, just a professional website that looked like it cost thousands to make. Then I tested it with something harder. Build an e-commerce website for a clothing brand. Include product listings, shopping cart, checkout, and payment integration. Most AI models would give you basic code and tell you to figure out the rest. Not Kimi K2. It built a full e-commerce site with a working cart, product filters by size and color, image zoom on hover, user review section, and even Stripe payment integration with real checkout flow. The site had search functionality, wish list features, and admin dashboard. This would normally take a developer weeks to build. Kimi K2 did it in minutes. But wait, I'm not done. I threw this at it next. Create a browser-based puzzle game where users match colored tiles to solve increasingly complex puzzles, include a scoring system and a timer, and guess what? It built a fully functional game, complete with smooth tile animations, particle effects when you match tiles, background music, progressive difficulty levels, and high score saving to local storage. The game had combo multipliers, time bonuses, and even power-ups. This is the kind of project that coding bootcamps give as final projects. Kimi K2 knocked it out in one shot. Then I got really crazy with it. I said build a 2D turn-based strategy game where players manage units, build structures, and battle enemies. Include a map editor and multiplayer support. Now, this is where most AI models would fail. This is complex game logic, real-time updates, multiplayer networking. But Kimi K2, it built the entire thing. The game had different unit types like warriors, archers, and mages, resource management with golden wood, building placement with collision detection, fog of war, and real multiplayer using WebSocket connections. The map editor let you draw terrain, place obstacles, and save custom maps. I couldn't believe it. And here's the thing, it's not just copying code from the internet. This thing actually understands what you want and builds it from scratch. It's like having a senior developer on your team who never gets tired, never makes mistakes, and works for free. A Chinese startup just released something called Manus AI. And it's not like GPT or Claude. Those tools give you answers. This thing gives you results, real results. I'm talking about an AI that can take your raw data, analyze it, create charts, write reports, and even make presentations, all by itself, without you doing anything. Now here's what makes this so different. Most AI tools are like having a really smart friend. You ask them questions and they give you good answers. But then, you still have to do all the work. Manus AI is like having a really smart employee. You tell it what you want done, then you can literally walk away. And when you come back, the work is finished. Let me show you exactly what I mean. But first, let me tell you why this matters to you. If you run a business, you probably spend hours every week dealing with data, customer lists, sales numbers, website traffic, social media stats. All that stuff lives in boring spreadsheets. And turning those spreadsheets into something useful takes forever. Most people either struggle with Excel for hours, or they pay someone hundreds of dollars to make charts and reports, or they just ignore their data completely, which means they make bad business decisions. But what if I told you there's now an AI that can do all of that work in minutes? For free? That's exactly what Manus AI does. And I'm about to show you how it works. But first you need to understand why this is such a big deal. See, most AI tools are what we call chatbots. They're designed to have conversations. You type something, they type back, that's it. So, what is MCP? MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. Think of it like this. You know how your phone has a charging port and you can plug in any cable that fits? That's what MCP does for Claude. Before this update, Claude was like a really smart person locked in a room with no internet. Sure, it could think and write, but it couldn't connect to your apps, it couldn't check your calendar, it couldn't create tasks in your project management tool, but now Claude can connect to hundreds of different apps and tools. And I'm not talking about some basic integration, I'm talking about deep connections where Claude can read your data, create new content, and take actions for you. This is not just another AI update, this is the moment AI becomes actually useful in your daily work. Here's something that just dropped that nobody's talking about. Claude now works with all your connected tools right on your mobile device. You know how before you could only use Claude's advanced features on desktop? That's over. Now you can access projects, create new docs, and use all your connected tools while you're on the go. I tested this myself. I connected Claude to my project management system, then I opened Claude on my phone, and boom, I could check my project status, create new tasks, and even generate reports, all from my phone while sitting in a coffee shop. This means you can now run your entire business through Claude on your phone. Need to check your sales data? Claude can pull it up. Want to create a new marketing campaign? Claude can build it and add it to your project tracker, all from your mobile device. Now let me show you the feature that's going to change everything. It's called Desktop Extensions or DXT files, and it works exactly like Chrome extensions, but for Claude. Before this update, connecting Claude to a new tool was a nightmare. You had to install Node.js, you had to edit config files, you had to deal with dependency conflicts. Most people just gave up. But now, it's literally one click, you download a DXT file, you double click it, and Claude can now connect to that tool. That's it. I tested this with 3 different tools, a PowerPoint creator, a file system manager, and a web scraper. Each one took less than 30 seconds to install, and they all worked perfectly. There are already hundreds of these DXT files available, and developers are creating new ones every day. It's like the early days of the Chrome extension store, but for AI tools. Speaking of that directory, let me show you something most people have never seen. Claude has a secret directory with hundreds of apps ready to connect. You go to claude.ai/directory, and boom, there are tools for everything. Project management, design, coding, marketing, sales, customer service, data analysis. But here's where it gets crazy. Each tool connects with just one click, no setup, no configuration, no technical knowledge needed. I tested 10 different tools from this directory: Notion, Linear, Canva, Figma, Stripe, PayPal, Zapier, each one connected in seconds, and Claude could immediately start working with my data from those apps. This is not some beta feature that barely works. This is production ready. Companies like Block and Apollo are already using this in their workflows. You know how I always talk about the importance of research for SEO and content? Well, Claude just became the best research tool I've ever used. With advanced research mode, Claude can spend up to 45 minutes researching a topic for you. It searches the web, it looks through your Google Workspace, it checks your connected integrations, and it creates a comprehensive report with citations. I tested this by asking Claude to research the latest trends in AI automation for 2025. Claude spent 50 minutes gathering information from dozens of sources. Then, it created a detailed report with actionable insights and references. This would have taken me hours to do manually. Claude did it in 15 minutes while I was working on other things. This is like having a team of researchers working for you 24/7. Let me tell you about my real-world testing. I spent 3 days connecting Claude to every tool I use in my business. The results blew my mind. First, I connected Claude to my project management system. Then I asked it to create a detailed report on our 4th quarter performance. Claude pulled data from multiple projects, it analyzed our completion rates, it identified bottlenecks, and it suggested improvements. This report would normally take my team half a day to create. Claude did it in 5 minutes. Next, I connected Claude to my design tools. I asked it to create a PowerPoint presentation about our latest SEO case study. Claude pulled the data from our analytics, it created professional slides, it added charts and graphs. The presentation looked like something our design team would create. But Claude made it in under 10 minutes. Look, I've been using NotebookLM, and this update is different. This isn't just another AI tool getting a small feature. This is Google turning NotebookLM into something that could replace how you consume information forever. Google just partnered with some of the biggest names in publishing: The Economist, The Atlantic, best-selling authors like Eric Topol and Arthur Brooks, and they created something called featured notebooks. These aren't just random documents, these are curated collections of expert knowledge that you can interact with in ways that have never been possible before. Here's what makes this insane. You don't just read this content, you talk to it, you ask it questions, you get answers with citations, and the AI creates podcasts from it automatically. I'm talking about longevity advice from Eric Topol, the guy who wrote Super Ages, expert predictions for 2025 from The Economist's annual World Ahead report, life advice from Arthur Brooks, how to build a life columns in the Atlantic. But here's where it gets crazy. They also included the complete works of William Shakespeare, a science guide to Yellowstone National Park, parenting advice based on actual psychology research. And this is just the beginning. Google says they're adding more featured notebooks every month with additional collections from The Economist and The Atlantic. Let me explain why this is such a big deal. Before this update, you had to find your own sources, you had to upload your own documents, you had to curate your own content. Now Google has done all the heavy lifting for you. They've partnered with world-class experts and publications to create ready-to-use notebooks filled with high-quality information. Want to learn about longevity from one of the world's leading experts? It's already there. Want to understand what's coming in 2025 from The Economist's best analysts? Ready to go. Want life advice from Arthur Brooks, who writes for The Atlantic? Available instantly. Each featured notebook comes with pre-generated audio overviews. These sound like podcasts where two AI hosts discuss the content, but you can also ask questions, explore specific topics, and get answers with citations pointing back to the original sources. You can use the Mind Maps feature to see how ideas connect visually. You can create study guides, briefing documents, and FAQs, all based on expert content that would normally cost you hundreds or thousands of dollars to access. And here's the crazy part, it's all completely free. Here's exactly what you can do with these featured notebooks. Go to notebooklm.google.com and click on the Featured Notebooks tab. You'll see collections from The Economist, The Atlantic, and other expert partners. Click on any notebook that interests you. Let's say you pick The Economist's 2025 predictions. You can read the original articles from their World Ahead report, but here's where it gets interesting. You can ask the AI-specific questions about the content. What does The Economist think will happen to AI regulation in 2025? How will the economy change next year? The AI gives you detailed answers with citations. You can generate an audio overview that turns the content into a podcast discussion. Two AI hosts will talk about the key points like they're on a talk show, and you can listen to this while walking, driving, or working out. But here's the part that blew my mind. You can join these podcast conversations. While the AI hosts are talking, you can interrupt and ask questions. It's like having a personal conversation with experts who have read everything about the topic. You can also create mind maps that show how different ideas connect visually. The AI breaks down complex topics into visual networks that help you understand relationships between concepts. Let me show you what's available right now. The World Ahead 2025 with 70 sources. This is The Economist's comprehensive analysis of what's coming next year. Economics, politics, technology, global trends, everything you need to know about 2025. Secrets of the Super Ages with 17 sources. This contains expert insights on healthy aging and living longer from leading longevity researchers. Q1 earnings reports for top 50 corporations with 91 sources. This is massive. Financial data and analysis from the biggest companies in the world. Perfect for investors and business strategists. Parenting advice for the digital age with 21 sources. Psychology-based guidance for raising kids in our technology-driven world. How to build a life from the Atlantic with 46 sources. This is Arthur Brooks' life advice columns focused on well-being, happiness, and building a meaningful life. William Shakespeare. The complete plays with 44 sources. Every play the bard ever wrote. Ready for AI-powered exploration and analysis. The Science Fan's Guide to Visiting Yellowstone with 17 sources. Geological explanations. Biodiversity insights, and everything you need to understand this natural wonder. Trends in health, wealth, and happiness, long-term data, and analysis on human well-being from leading research institutions, and they're adding more every month. Google confirmed they'll continue expanding the collection with additional content from The Economist, The Atlantic, and new partners. What I'm about to share with you today is going to change everything you think you know about AI. We're talking about GPT-5, and the leaks that just came out are absolutely mind-blowing. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below and let me know what you think about these updates. So here's what happened. Just a few days ago, Tibor Blaho posted a screenshot on X that sent shockwaves through the AI community. The screenshot showed a configuration file dated July 13th, 2025, which mentions GPT-5 Reasoning Alpha. But that's not all. OpenAI is expected to release its next big model, GPT-5, in August, according to recent reports from Axios. We're talking about just weeks away now. Now, let me break down exactly what this means for you and why you need to pay attention. And before I dive deeper, if you want to start implementing AI automation in your business right now, you can get free access to our Insert Tool training inside the AI Success Lab. We have over 100 different AI use cases and step-by-step processes. The link is in the comments and description below. Let me tell you something that's going to blow your mind. The early tester feedback on GPT-5's coding abilities, one person said it was extremely positive. We're talking about AI that can understand your code better than most human developers. But that's just the beginning. Stick around because what I'm about to show you in the next few minutes will completely change how you think about AI forever. First, let's talk about what makes GPT-5 so different. GPT-5 is designed as an integrated model that can carry out various tasks from one demand. This is different from current GPT models, where some are better for research, some for coding, and others for general purposes. Think about this for a second. Right now, you have to switch between different AI models depending on what you want to do. Need reasoning? You use O3. Want multimodal? You use GPT-4.0, but GPT-5, it does everything in one unified system. For the first time, GPT-5 integrates the classic GPT line with the logical reasoning capabilities of the O series, resulting in noticeable improvements, especially in programming tasks, and the early feedback is incredible. According to reports from The Information, GPT-5 shows significantly improved programming skills, especially with complex, realistic code in large software projects. Testers say it outperforms Claude 4 Sonnet in head-to-head comparisons. But it's not just coding. GPT-5 shows higher performance in scientific disciplines such as mathematics, physics, and technical tasks, plus better creative expression, especially when writing texts and literary output. Here's something really cool. GPT-5 has dynamic thought control. It intelligently adjusts its computing power depending on the difficulty of the task, so it doesn't waste resources on simple questions, but really thinks hard on complex problems. It's wild watching people use ChatGPT, knowing what's coming, said an OpenAI insider. They know something we don't, and what's coming is about to make GPT-4 look like a toy. And if you want to take this further, here's what you need to do. First, my AI Profit Boardroom is the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds with AI automation. We currently have 1,000 members who are all using cutting-edge AI to grow their businesses. This is where you want to be to stay ahead of everything that's coming. Second, if you want a personalized strategy for your business, book a free SEO strategy session. The link is in the comments and description. We'll show you exactly how to use AI and SEO to dominate your market. And third, we have a complete SOP and process inside the AI Success Lab. Link in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from today, plus over 100 different use cases and tutorials. We have 14,000 members in there, and they're all getting results with AI. Don't miss out on being part of something bigger than yourself. The future of coding is here. It's open source, it's free, and it's incredibly powerful. The question isn't whether AI will change everything, it's whether you'll be ready when it does. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.